Hi, Chichwa Wolfwoman here, just coming on. I feel like it's been a little while. Coming on today to share what came through the other day and when I was in the medicine lodge. And where to start? Well, I guess where I'm going to start is today in the world, everything that's happening around us. I feel that there's been this movement for a while now in regards to the idea of ceremony. And ceremony obviously is nothing new, yet it has become an advertised fad in many, many ways. And the word ceremony has been thrown around, I feel, without its authenticity in respect to it, and that it's become an idea holding an idea. That's just it. It's an idea, and it's being sold, literally and figuratively sold. How many times I see advertisements over social media and other places selling ceremony, having the word ceremony and then money attached to it, and how that is always not sat well in my true center, in the knowing from the teachings that I have, that one does not go with the other, no matter what it is. And I feel I've had this conversation with many over the years, and from and speaking to others, there's been different reasons that have been brought to the forefront in why money would be attached to ceremony, yet none of it truly adds up. None of it truly expresses or holds the authenticity of what ceremony is. And so, I guess that's firstly what I wanted to express and share, is the understanding or the teachings that I hold in my true center from what I understand, and that is that ceremony cannot be sold, and ceremony is not something we just throw around. We have great reverence for ceremony, and ceremony. The reason there's never money attached to ceremony is that ceremony is open for all, and ceremony is also very guided and with intention, with authenticity, with respect, with reverence, held with wisdom and love and bravery and honesty and humility. All the reasons that you wouldn't involve money in that. And it's just that money holds a completely different energy, and there's no way to measure ceremony monetarily. And so that's where I'm going to leave that there for a moment and move into this teaching that came through in the lodge the other day. And it's an understanding that there are moments, if we understand the idea of worlds within worlds, and that's for better explanation, but this idea of worlds within worlds. So medicine wheels, connecting with medicine wheels, and just so this idea of, if we're moving into ceremony, or you're flowing into some sort of, whatever you want to call it, stillness, meditation, whatever it is, when you're journeying, when you're sleeping, dream traveling, that idea, when you're moving between these spaces within spaces, sometimes in those spaces within spaces, the lines can be crossed, they can be tangled, for lack of better explanation, which means that when this happens, and I can't say that I've experienced it happen, at least in my walk, often, though when it happens, it's so important to listen and understand that it's not a moment to be flowing into ceremony or um, being in any sort of state of traveling with intention. And full circle, the reason why I started expressing what I was expressing in the beginning about ceremony is that's just it. We have to be able to listen within to know if we are to be flowing into ceremony or not. That is part of it. Part of um, walking in ceremony is knowing that we flow. We flow like the river, that it's not based on a specific time, because that can change. I mean, there may be a time that it feels called to, and we have to align with that, absolutely. Though there's times that it's like, well, no, this isn't happening, and we have to flow. And it's so important that when we are someone that is holding space, or we are a facilitator, or walking in practice with certain gifts, that we understand this knowing of when the lines are tangled or crossed, so that we know when to say, nah, can't do this. This is not the time for this. Need to shut it down, need to wait. Because if we try to act in this space, we can put ourselves in danger. We can put those that might be present in this space with us in danger. And this comes all back again, to who are you sitting in circle with? Who is the facilitator? Do you know this person? What kind of medicine are they using that you're sitting in circle with them? I mean, as I said, the idea of ceremony has become a fad and has truly put many people, I've crossed many paths, people in an unhealthy state mentally, physically, and spiritually. And so it's so important that we are clear within our mind, body, and spirit of what we are doing, how we are walking with the medicine that we walk with. Who are we allowing into our space? What does that even mean? And so it's really important that we ask questions and we check within. And if we're not sure, that we seek the counsel of someone that may. And so I did want to jump on here and share this teaching that flowed through as I was in the medicine lodge yesterday, because that is exactly what happened. As I was flowing into ceremony, it was very clear that it was not the time. The lines were tangled, they truly were, and the energies were not serving to hold ceremony in that space. And so I shut it down and allowed, all to sort of flow and pass, and then was able to walk and flow through ceremony today. Though this is hard for many to do, because as much as we are walking we're walking in this world, the mundane world, which is very much guided and squared by schedules and times and promises and sort of all these false illusions, essentially. But yet this is the world we live in, of that sort of, the physical world. And so when we work in the spiritual world, and this is all for lack of better explanation, it's an understanding that doesn't necessarily follow the mundane. And so it's not about letting people down or having a specific time or whatever we might tie to mundane acts, or what we may feel a mundane responsibility is. It's not the same in the spiritual world. And it's depending on what we're doing, that is what we need to understand, to listen to. It's not about one trumping the other, so to speak. It's just an understanding what we're doing. And so it's so important. Ask questions. Be clear who you're walking into ceremony with. Are you being asked to pay money for that ceremony? Who's holding that space? What is truly happening? Are you protected? Do you ask the questions? It's so important. Or seek counsel of someone that may be able to have more clarity, especially if you're new to what it is that you're walking into. There's a lot more people that are seeking alternative, which I don't even think is a word either, But for the sake of how most people refer to it as this alternative way of living or walk of life. And so it's so important that they have people to reach out to seek counsel when before walking into ceremonies or situations that are being called ceremonies without understanding what it is that they're actually doing. So I hope this was helpful in understanding a little bit more about the authenticity of ceremony, and also about understanding that there are just times that we got to shut it down, and that is a knowing that someone that holds the space of facilitator, or someone that is, hosting that space, or whatever it is that they're doing, even if it's for yourself personally, that you understand and know when that is occurring, when the lines are crossed. It's a very important moment to understand, and that when we don't attach our physical life to it, our mundane life to what we choose to do, then it's very easy to shut things down. I find that it becomes hard when we attach that money as well, because we feel now a mundane responsibility to fulfill it. And they should be so not connected to one another. Not meaning that one can't receive gifts when they practice an act, but it's definitely not. It's not how we present. It's not. It is. We pay this for this. Anything is received as a gift, from a blanket to a hat to money, to jewelry, to a rug, to a stone person. All of it is equal in the hoop of life. All is abundance whenever anyone gifts something, when they're seeking support. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you've got any questions or comments, share them. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm always open to ideas to share. If you have questions, and if I can share and give the teachings that flow, I'm happy to do so. So thank you.